Marvel next big event. The solution to low sales. Their 5-head Galaxy Brain comic savant idea for the X-Men is to give them a bunch of swords. Bleeding cool. Crystallized autism brings us this story by Autism Prime, Jew Terror. But before we get into this retard of an article, I want you to head over to Indiegogo and support our Boys Axe campaign, The Expendables, right now. And I have another thing to tell you. I have an announcement. I finally got my shit together and I have a portfolio ready to be seen. And I'm calling out all Comicsgate creators, mainly writers because they're looking for artists, who are looking for an artist. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a Google Drive with my portfolio. I come included with a 12-year-old professional in comics as an editor. And his name is Monsieur Editor. I demand that you call him that. Because sadly, I still cannot name him because the comics community is filled with a bunch of snakes. Anyhow, the announcement aside, let's dive into this pit of retardation that is this article. Following in the footsteps of House of X and Power of 10X? I never followed up on which was which. Both names sound retarded. Anyhow, Marvel has announced their next big X-Men event. Because that's the only way they can get paid. The X-Men panel at C2E2 today. X of Swords! Like Powers of X, but unlike House of X, it's... Oh, the X... Okay, so this is 10. So 10 of Swords. Is this some sort of card game reference? Jonathan Hickman, are you playing card games with us? Don't make me pull out my Yu-Gi-Oh deck right now, because I'm gonna beat your ass with it. This is why they pay Hickman the big bucks. This is fucking retarded as a name. 10 of Swords. And look at this goddamn... This is disgusting. This is cheap, uninspired, and stupid. Change this goddamn logo. As you can see from the art, everyone gets sore here. Was Oprah giving them out? That's a very low bowling joke, Jew Terror. I knew you were terrible at journalism, but you were even worse at comedy. And you get a sword, and you get a sword. More importantly, does Wolverine get two? Why would you give Wolverine a sword? You, my fucking god. He has technically 6 on his hands, on his arms. He is already a swordsman, technically. And so are a few other people in this panel, in this illustration. This is so stupid. Hickman and Teeny Howard are writing large chunks of the event, with Howard coming up with the name. Well, now we know who to blame for that retard of a name. But all of the X-Men writers are contributing because they have a Slack. What does that mean? Oh, they have the communication thing, the Slack? That's Discord for boomers? Which is more boomer? I gotta know this. Is Skype or Slack more boomer? Because we all know that Discord reigns supreme, and then everything below Discord is straight up garbage. Anyhow, please let me know in the comments, is Slack more boomer than Skype? Or is Skype more boomer than Slack? Moving on. No word on the artist, but this will kick off with the free comic book day. Well, they did kick off Absolute Carnage with the free comic book day book, which I think it was successful. The initial start of Absolute Carnage was pretty good, and then it kind of fizzled out. Anyhow. Hey, is that a lightsaber in Cyclops' hands? A Star Wars crossover? Hickman did allude to another event coming up in December. Why are you doing so many events? Why? I mean, I know why, because there's no way you can get paid, and there's no way for low-tier artists like Earthling and what was her, and Leah Williams and Tini Howard to actually get a bunch of sales. Because we can see all the sales on their books right now, it's all garbage. And the story's even worse. I bet they're gonna think of something stupid for Cyclops. It's sort of like, oh, he channeled his power from his eyes through his veins into the sword. Probably something stupid like that. Update. Oh, there's an update. Our has posted a press release for the event with more details, including the fact that it will be 15 parts. 15 parts! Look, I know Marvel likes their tie-ins in order to cash grab, which you should back down on Indiegogo by ya boys, CISO and Donald DeLay. We all know Marvel likes their cash grabs and all their variants, the tie-ins, because there's no other way they can actually make money. But Jesus fucking Christ, this is retarded. Let's read this stupid ass press release. Just announced an enthusiastic crowd at C2E2's X-Men panel. I mean, I doubt there's gonna be a bunch of people that they're just gonna start yelling, no, this is stupid. Go back. Stop. It's time to cease. Ten of Swords. This name is so fucking retarded, my dude. Will be a 15-part crossover tying it to her favorite X titles. Nobody likes any X titles now. Led by Head of X, Jonathan Hickman, the sprawling saga will find the mutants of Krakoa facing their biggest challenge yet. What? Who's gonna be on top? With this fucking thing with a... I don't even wanna click this. With a possible love triangle between Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean Grey? Get the fuck out of here. Biggest challenge yet. Threatened by powerful forces from the unknown, 10 mutants will rise up to defend their home, arming themselves with legendary blades, both new and familiar. This sounds like a ripoff. Wait, this story sounds familiar. Where have I feel like I've read such a story where people just go off, find legendary blades. I feel like this is some sort of an anime ripoff. It feels too familiar. Mutant kind will finally meet its mystical destiny. So are they going to ascend into being more than just mutant segregationists? I don't know. Impacting the entire X-Men franchise and setting the stage for the future of mutant kind, Ten of Swords, a retarded name, will be a modern X-Men epic that both longtime and new X-Men fans can't miss. You missed a lot of people with your Xbox. I remember that hardcore X-Men fans, Doc, you should know him from Twitter. Doc is like the X-Men fan to talk to, especially if you want to break into the X-Men. He did like House of X and Powers of Ten, or however the fuck you pronounce those names. But even he doesn't like this. Even he doesn't like the current X-Men. They're not heroes. They aren't doing anything heroic. In Wolverine's book, Wolverine did say that this feels weird. But he just said it and he did nothing about it. The X-Men is fucked. Just burn it all down. Last year, Jonathan Hickman reshaped the world of X-Men with a top-selling House of X and Powers of 10. Since then, it's gotten even worse. The X-Men titles have become of the talk. Who's the editor of this stupid-ass press release? They've become the talk of the industry. Have they really? Because Rob Liefeld is talking about how stupid they are and how stupid X-Forces and New Mutants are. And Rob Liefeld not being on any X book is a big leadership failure. How do you not have Rob Liefeld draw X-Force or New Mutants? What kind of a retard is running this show? each telling an exhilarating story set in this exciting new era. Stories are not fun, they're retarded. Don't miss the next chapter in Hickman's grand vision for Marvel's mutants when Ten of Swords, the more I say it, the more retarded the name feels, kicks off in July. Oh, so it's gonna. Are they gonna have an event every 6 months? Because they did said there's going to be something in December and there's gonna be something in July. Oh my fucking god! Remember when crossovers were actually good, and there weren't any crossovers every 3 to 4 months? Because right now, if you threw all the crossover books on the floor, I will not find a clean place to set my foot down. I will step on a crossover book. It's so retarded. Keep it on Marvel.com for more from C2E2 all weekend. Nobody cares. Let's look at the illustration by Mark Brooks. It's competent, but it's muddy. It's so muddy. It all blurs together. Just do the old school coloring and everything's gonna pop. Three to four. Okay, let's say five if you have some metal highlights, tone coloring, and everything is gonna pop because this is all warm colors. This is also very warm. This is 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 warm. The background is a warm color. Everything is a warm color. It's stupid. And what is this? Who's this? Who is this? I don't even know which character is this, but this looks fucking stupid, my dude. What is this design? What is this sword? It's worse than the arcade Riven sword. Come on. He's already an established swordsman. Here's the sword. Magic. Oh my god, that they could do so much with magic, with Eastern European folklore and magic and sorcery. It could be such a fun sword and sorcery book. Ah, it pains me to just look at Margot. I hate it. Here's another. Here's another off topic. Why do Americans pronounce her name Iliana? It's Ilana. Repeat after me, class. Ilana, not Iliana. I know you're spelling her right like that, but in Cyrillic alphabets, the Y and A is one letter. The Ya is one letter. Ilana. So get with the fucking program. I like Apocalypse's sword. Okay, this sword fits Apocalypse. I don't even know who that is. I don't know most of these characters. I'm not a big X. Ooh. Archangel is getting a sword, and here's is this the cuck sword? Is Wolverine actually cucking Scott Summers? And this is the power of cuckolding. He's giving him the power of channeling his laser through his veins, through his bones. And this sword probably has some little holes in it that allows Scott Summers, Cyclops, to channel his laser powers through his hands into those holes and through the sword. Because if this is a straight up lightsaber, it's fucking retarded. And this is it's a katana, but it's a boring red katana. Young Cable is retarded. You need to remove this. Like, give us old scruffy ass Cable back. This is stupid. Nobody wanted this. Like nobody wanted this either. Oh, and Domino's sword actually looks cool. Back to the end of the story. Oh, we're at the end. We're at the end. Bleeding cool. Ace reporter Dave Pierce is on hand at the Marvel X-Men panel at C22, sending us breaking news. Jordan White is hosting the panel with Jonathan Hickman. Is it Gary or Jerry Duggan? Teeny Howard, Benjamin Percy, Vila Ayala, Lionel Williams, and Sylvie Sabolsky in attendance. Pierce has already nailed the most important story of the weekend, asking several X-Fighters point blank about how many dicks Wolverine has. I'm feeling my IQ drop. This is crystallized autism at its finest. Oh boy. There's only one sentence left. Come on, we can do it. Keep an eye on our C22 news page and keep checking back for updates as we learn what's in store for the greatest franchise in comics. Okay, look, dude. Juter, oh, you're a retard. But the X-Men have been nowhere near being the greatest franchise in comics for decades, for years. Some might even say for centuries. Ever since Chris Claremont left. And why do you have this sort of lineup for X-Men without, some might call him the father of X-Men, Chris Claremont? If he can't pull this off, if he doesn't know these characters better than anyone, nobody else doesn't. Nobody else does. I'm fucking up my grammar already. Jonathan Hickman doesn't know the X-Men as characters. Look at his books. They're a bunch of mutant segregationists. They're a bunch of plant monsters. Death is no. It has no consequence. There are no stakes in the book. Hey, I know this is a suicide mission, but don't you worry because we can revive you. This isn't a fucking video game. There are no stakes in that book. No stakes. There's no pain. There's no fear of death. There's no adversity. There's no heroism. God knows that Marvel Comics has forgotten what true heroism actually is. Fucking God, this is so stupid. What is Vida Ayala gonna do with her Marauders? Was Marauders her book? Were there a bunch of pirates? Was there a bunch of they're not terrorists, I think. I haven't read the book. The only thing I know of the book is from Zach's reviews because God knows that I'm not gonna give Marvel a single penny for those books. I know people like Powers of X and House of Ten, or whichever way it is pronounced. I'm not buying those books. They're fucking stupid. These aren't the X-Men. These aren't heroes. I'd rather go back, because I'm not an X-Men fan. I'd like to be one. I'd like to read some good X-Men. Some good new art, new line of production, high quality X-Men, but what we've had for quite a few years is straight up retardation. So I'm just gonna go back, I'm gonna read Chris Claremont, I'm gonna read Larry Hama. Because I know that those are actual good stories, with actual good art. But we reached the end of this topic in this dumpster fire of an article. Jesus fuck, guys, Jude Terra. Look at his, even his goddamn profile picture says it all. And I'm pretty sure Terror is not a real name, it's a pen name. It's, oh, Bleeding Cool drains all the energy out of me. I want to start making videos because I do want to grab an ore, but every time I dip into any comic book topic, it just the crystallized autism is so difficult to swallow. So chunky. This is all muddy. Like if you look at this, if you squint your eyes and look at this, it blends together. Everything's so warm and it's so this is ineffective. It's a good portfolio piece. It's competent, but it's not fun. It is not fun, it is not cool, and it is not as legible as it could be. Legibility, motherfucker. Have you heard of it? That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for enduring this ride on Autism Coaster. Presented, brought, delivered, served even by Bleeding Cool. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this idea of 10 of Swords, which sounds, the entire story sounds like a ripoff of something. And if you do find what it sounds like, please let me know. And also let me know which communication software do you think is more boomer, Skype or what was the other one? Slack? And again, I'd like to remind you to support your boy Zax Indiegogo for. I was gonna say Jawbreakers again. Why am I thinking of the Jawbreaker so much? Oh, I know why. Because I have an idea for another video, which I will be doing soon. Whenever I form the thesis in my head for your boy Zach's Expendables campaign, and a reminder to look at my portfolio. And if you're a Comicsgate writer, get in contact with me. We have an editor on board as well, so you know that our story is going to be as good as it can be with our current skill set. Thank you again so much for watching. Hail Comicsgate, and I'll see you soon.